back. There are numerous threats they face once they're in country.
Being such a long mission, you're doing a lot of transit time, but the time when you're on station, it's only a small portion of our actual mission. So the biggest concern is that you are ready to do your job for the very specific hour or 2 hours or 3 hours that you're going to be doing it. And so the biggest threat, in my opinion, is not just the weather, but complacency as well.
Add to that the risk of crashing in the rugged mountainous terrain of Afghanistan.
Afghanistan is very mixed terrain. It has plains and it also has very steep mountains. So you have to be very careful. As we like to say, if you hit the ground, that you're going to be killed 100% of the time, all the time.
Compounding that, the enemy Taliban guerrilla forces have some success disrupting communication.
They jam most of the radio frequencies, so that can be fairly frustrating. Sometimes you go the entire flight and you can't talk to your wingman.
The skies over Afghanistan are swarming with military aircraft. Entering the stack, a layered holding pattern where aircraft circle the battlefields at prescribed altitudes, waiting for their orders to attack.
For us in Afghanistan, the biggest threat was running into another coalition aircraft. You have altitude stacks that go just near the surface with your helicopters up to tens of thousands of feet. You're worried about small arms fire, the lucky pot shot that someone might take at you.
All of the threats result in a high stress level, which is not necessarily a bad thing when you're flying a close air support mission, or CAS. Attacking enemy positions that are right on top of friendly forces.
Close air support is probably the toughest job that we do. It's also the most important in my mind, because what we are doing is we are providing air support to friendly forces in close proximity to the enemy. So it tests our skills, because what you obviously have to be is the most accurate you can possibly be.
The stress is definitely a good thing. It keeps you alert, and an 8-hour mission is a long mission, and you get a lot of stress when you launch off the front end. And then you truck in for an hour and it's not so stressful, and then you check in with your JTAC, the air commander on the ground, and it's incredibly stressful again because you want to do really good work for those people down there. So it's peaks and troughs the whole time.
Coping with the ups and downs is easier when Bynes reminds himself why he's here.
It's really good feeling like you hopefully did some good for the guys down there. If nothing else, made them feel safer. I can't imagine how much better it must feel knowing that you can just call in a couple Hornets with a bunch of 500-pound bombs and some 20mm cannon, you know, if you got yourself into a situation where you needed it. I like being over there for them.
Though specific mission details remain classified, cockpit video recordings reveal some past targets, enemy buildings, vehicles, even troop formations. After roughly 4 hours airborne, the mission is complete. It's time to fly home.
The flight is not over until after you've landed safely and taxied safely and shut down.
What lies ahead is the most stressful part of naval aviation: landing on an aircraft carrier. By now, the pilot has been sitting in one spot for up to 7 hours.
It takes a lot of focus. The landing area is quite small compared to a runway, and it's moving. Our jets fly at a pretty fast approach speed. The landing area is angled off the axis of the ship, so as the ship is moving forward, creating the wind that is required to land on the ship, the landing area is actually moving sideways a little bit.
Pilots have no room for error, aiming for a landing area that is pitching and rolling with the sea, and is a fraction of the typical commercial airport.
It's the most thrilling and the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. It's inherently dangerous. It's not a natural thing to do, to throw yourself at a large piece of steel at 150 miles an hour. And then it's incredibly precise. So many things have to work, not just on your side, also, I mean, on the ship side. You know, they have to have it set up properly for you, otherwise it could be catastrophic on that side too. you have a lot of faith, especially in the landing signal officers back there. They're there to keep you safe.
LSOs communicate directly with the inbound pilots via radio, keeping them on a precise path, confirming airspeed, altitude, angle of approach. All have to be within the strict parameters to touchdown. Ironically, landing on a carrier requires a pilot to go full power.
You have to go full power because you need to make sure that you will go flying again if you don't catch one of the wires.
If a plane misses all 4 wires that stretch across the deck, the radio crackles with the word bolter. Pilots will once again roar off the deck, as long as they've kept up their speed. Failure to go to full power is deadly. It is the threat of disaster that makes carrier landings a terrifying rush.
My heart starts beating fast, and luckily the adrenaline doesn't take over too much until after I land, and then I can feel my legs shaking a little bit, especially on night traps.
You're coming in, you're concentrating so hard on making sure that you're lined up properly and that you're on glide slope properly, making the right corrections, listen to the LSO, so you're not really, at least I'm not thinking about the fact that I'm about to land on the ship, and then you do, and then it's over.
I wouldn't say there's really a huge sense of relief, just because, you know, we're doing it again tomorrow, and you just kind of always stay in that role. Usually you're just exhausted, and you're like, I'm going to try to go get some rest before I do it again tomorrow.
Every day we look back at the flight schedule. Yeah, we're happy we got through today. These are the things we need to work on for tomorrow, and these are the things that went really well. We need to capture those and do those again tomorrow. So whether it was combat or not, anytime you're doing carrier aviation, it's a risky business. We try and mitigate that risk through great training and great airplanes and great people working on our airplanes, but it is a risky proposition. So every day, at the end of the day, you look at the flight schedule and it's all complete and all your jets come back. Well, what I like to say is all my people are back home safe. We got all their fingers and toes attached. All my toys are here. It's a good day.
Whether you're a veteran or a nugget, being away from home for so long isn't easy.
I miss my girlfriend a lot, and my friends and my family. I miss the fact that you could just pick up the phone and call somebody. You can't do that out here. There's not a whole lot of downtime because there's always something you can be doing. You're just not always flying. You have ground jobs as well.
Back early.
Every month, tons of supplies are transferred to the ship, from jet fuel to ordnance. The crew consumes nearly 3 million meals and 35,000 gallons of milk during 7 months at sea. There is a certain challenge to passing the time on a long deployment.
It's just like family when you're away from home. Just like family, you get upset with them sometimes, but the next day you forgive them and everything's good again. Basically, you're trusting them with your life. If something happened, they'll be the ones to get you out of it.
As you can see, this is actually Curry, we call him Junior. Petty Officer Curry's rack, one of my friends. It's my rack, and this is AZ 2 Barrios. It's really not that bad. You get used to the small space. Every so often, in the beginning of cruise, you wake up and you bang your head on the top, and you learn not to do that again. We actually have lights and outlets in some of our racks. So we usually plug up our DVD players and just watch movies or sleep. Most of the time we're playing Xbox. We brought that TV from home.
Blackwell's berth has an arresting wire mechanism running across the floor.
This is the number 3 wire that the aircraft actually land on and catch with their hooks. It's actually pretty loud at night. You get used to it though. It's aircraft actually landing on the top of your head, so it gets real loud.
In all honesty, it doesn't always go great. I mean, there's some days when people are mad at each other, and some days that I didn't do a great job of keeping their spirits up. But when it comes down to it, I think people understand how important the mission is, but and it's hard to leave home, no matter whether it's for 2 weeks or for 6 months or 7 months or whatever it is.
For Geis and the rest of the personnel on the Big E, today is an especially good day. Their tour of duty is done. It's time to go home.
Very excited. Can't wait. A long time running.
I woke up smiling today. I'm just ecstatic to be going home. I can't really imagine what it's going to be like, but I'm very excited to get there.
We're going home!
7 months at sea, more than 8,000 sorties, 2,100 of those into combat. The battle-tested crew of the Enterprise sails for Norfolk.
Our squadron matured as we went on this deployment, and I have a squadron now of seasoned combat aviators. Our young folks were exposed to combat on their very first deployment. They're savvy. They know what they're doing. This next deployment we go on, instead of going on cruise with nuggets, I'm going to have a seasoned ready room ready to go and ready to go back into the action.
You got a lot of hours, you got a lot of experience under your belt. You're by no means proficient at everything, but the day-to-day tasks become much, much easier.
Today is the fly-off. The last day of flight ops for this deployment. And the only day the shooter can wear a toga. All aircraft aboard the Enterprise have to be launched off before the ship sails into port.
Final launch for CAG 1. Last chance to see the money.
With just one more day until they reach Norfolk, Virginia, the entire air wing is sent aloft to return to their bases. The day marks the last for the shooter. It is tradition that the last thing he fires off the Big E is his boots.
Usually your boots are so dilapidated and destroyed from flight deck wear and tear that you're not going to miss them when you leave anyway, so shoot them off, send them to the Davy Jones locker.
The next day, an estimated 10,000 people line the docks. They've been here for hours, waiting on loved ones. Sailors, as they've done for generations, line the deck in their dress uniforms. Shooter Sean McCarthy is among the first sailors off the boat. Waiting are his wife Lisa and daughters Sarah and Mary.
Every time he comes back home after a 6-month deployment, it's like going on a first date all over again. And not many people can say that after almost 10 years of marriage.
One of the greatest days of my life, man. I just missed him so much.
Ben Bine steps ashore to his girlfriend Angela and his mom and dad. Megan Angerman returns to base. Her husband Will hasn't seen her in nearly 7 months.
Pretty excited to see her. Very excited to see her.
For many, the reunions are bittersweet. The Enterprise typically would have as much as 18 months before deploying again. Instead, her crews have been alerted that training for her next deployment begins immediately.
It's a really short turnaround this time. I don't know why, but usually we rotate, but we're actually going back on deployment real soon. So I guess it's part of the job.
We are working up again to go right back out, so it is kind of sad to not be with your spouse, but we'll, enjoy the time that we do have together.
For most of the crew, it's a short week off before returning to the ship to begin the cycle once again.
I tell my guys that, dude, only 2 things that we're doing. We're either on deployment or we're getting ready to deploy, because everyone pays taxes and we're the insurance.